hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. And I'm gon' shine, homie, until my heart stop. Go ahead, envy me.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Keith's Hot Takes. And on today's show, I got a very, very special guest. I got my guy Vonnie the GOAT, Heat super
Yes,
fan.
sir.
Vonnie, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm not too happy as the result of the NBA Finals, but all in all, man, I'm doing well. Glad to be back on the show.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, you got a lot to celebrate. We're going to talk about it later on, how impressive your Heat's run was for 8 seed. I mean, what they did was
Mm-hmm.
super impressive. So,
Yeah, definitely.
but first, we got to talk about a serious topic and the Ja Morant situation because Ja Morant is just out of control.
Woo.
So first, to kick off the year, Ja's friend Devontae Pack um, got into it with some Pacer players, and then after the game, multiple Pacer players, staff personnel said that they saw a laser coming from a gun,
Mm-hmm.
and Ja was in the car. And, that's never a good look. And
Yep.
and during the game, Devontae Pack he got banned from the arena for the rest of the year because of that altercation. Um, and then after getting blown out in Denver, in a game which had a lot at stake, it was the two best teams in the Western Conference. I don't know why Ja went to a strip club to celebrate. I don't know what he was
Mm-hmm.
celebrating, but he went on IG Live, flashing the gun, and then 2 months later, he's back on IG Live, flashing the gun on Devontae Pack's Instagram. So Vonnie, what do you think Ja's punishment is going to be with with everything he's went through so far this year?
Man, so we'll go to after the second incident when he got suspended.
Hmm.
Well, he was suspended 8 games if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Spent about eight
because
games.
he said he went to like a counseling thing in Florida, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that
That
because he
that
was in and out.
That didn't work. This is where I've seen a lot of analysts on national television go and say like, and I've agreed with them. Adam Silver has to put his foot down. This is become a recurring instance 4 times, and it hasn't even been like It has been like 6 months. I want to say like 4 times, and it's just like, what is this kid got to realize? Like he has everything in front of him. He's a star basketball player. You feel me? He has all the money. He has the fame. So it's just like, and I get that could get to somebody, he's 22, 23. That could probably get to you at times, but somebody has to be in this corner like, hey, I mean, like you got to start making these right decisions. You got to start going down you hanging with the wrong crowd. You got to leave those cats alone. I mean, I know they're your boys since y'all was years old, but still, like sometimes people grow old and they grow apart, and it's about that time for him. It's time to grow apart from that crowd because, as we see, it keeps occurring and occurring and occurring and occurring, and now he's about to lose out more money. He already got cut from Nike, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Nike
Um,
didn't drop him,
yeah,
but
I think they pulled
they
his
just
shoe off the
suspended him.
off the site.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think.
they pull his shoe off the site, so losing money. He's about to get suspended for 37, 48. Whatever Mike Epps said it all about the Benjamins. It don't matter, man. He about to lose mad money because he about to miss out on some games next season. I wouldn't be surprised if he's suspended for the whole season. Uh,
Oh,
I'm gonna just be blatantly honest. I would not be surprised, like because you gave you ample amount of chances. You said you went down to a clinic down in Florida. Pretty much that didn't help. So what else? What else do you need? You need to lose out on some serious bread. I guess that's what's happening. Like, and I'm pretty sure the Grizzlies they're gonna do their due diligence. They're gonna do some restructuring of the contract and all of that. Just due to all of this, I'm pretty sure that'll happen. Because when you make every action has a reaction. So this is gonna be the reaction to his actions.
I definitely agree with you. I'm thinking at least 30 games. That's going to be the minimum that he's suspended because I think like you said, Ja's not really gonna learn his lesson until you take what he loves away most, which is basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So and let him sit down and think about, who he's hanging with and all this. I don't know about you, but I love my job, and I wouldn't be hanging out with anybody that's gonna mess with my bread. So
Exactly.
I think John needs to, sit down and have some serious conversations with himself. And like this Devontae Pack, I think Ja, needs to cut ties with him because it seems
Mm-hmm.
like every time he's around Ja, something bad happens.
Something bad.
Um,
Yep.
so yeah, and I think they need to require him to go to some actual counseling during his suspension, and not no drive through rehab center, whatever he went to in Florida, because it didn't help him.
Mm-hmm.
Because 2 months later, he's back on IG Live,
It was the
flashing
same
the gun.
thing literally 2 months later, like March to May. You just got suspended in March, your team's eliminated. Now you're on IG Live with a gun in May.
I mean, Devontae Pat did try to, once he saw Ja was
Pop.
flashing the gun.
He hit the phone. Yep.
Yeah, but it was too late. Somebody had already screenshotted it, and on Mother's Day, I was like, when I saw Ja was trending, I was like, oh Lord, this can't be nothing good, and I'd be doggone.
Can't be.
Yeah,
Can't be
and
nothing good. And earlier today, Kendrick Perkins said Ja would be best if he left Memphis and went to Miami. I'm not with basketball. Hey, bring it all. Basketball, bring it. But he got to mature. He's got to mature off the court. He's definitely got to mature off the court because what we got going on down there, that's something special.
yeah, I don't think Miami be the place for Ja with everything he has going on. He
Mm-mm.
getting a lot of trouble down there. Um,
Whole lot of trouble. Whole lot of trouble.
And like Shannon Sharp was saying, John needs to decide whether he wants to be this gangbanger, flashing guns on IG, or does he want to be a basketball player,
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like whenever John's listening to the young boy and he's on Instagram Live, he's gonna flash that stick that,
It's a
I don't know.
parade inside my city. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's about to learn that's got some consequences with it, like you said. So
Yeah.
I'm expecting, like you said, the commissioner needs to drop the hammer on Ja.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I hate it because Ja's one of the most exciting players to watch, but he's
Hey,
wilding.
it
He's
is what
been,
it is.
and not to mention all the incidents he got into last year, reportedly, where he punched a 17-year-old.
Oh yeah.
His mom
Yeah.
called him to the finish line, and his crew got into it with the people.
But
So
apparently too, that mom is like known for like doing stuff like that, like trying to set her son up to like
wow,
for like stuff like that. Yeah, to like exploit famous people for money, pretty much. Yeah,
wow.
I had read like deeper into it too because I had seen that, but apparently like the mom is like into like doing like exploiting and all of that. So,
I got you. So yeah, that's
hmm
sad. But I hate that for Ja. But I'm can't wait to see what the commissioner decides on because he said they got additional information and that's never good.
yeah, I know. He said they
So
got some additional stuff. I said, "Woo, might be over for young boy."
I don't know if you saw, the thing that's been going on Twitter, like without Googling, name a historical battle, and it had a picture
Oh
of Ja
yeah,
Morant and the and had a book that said the rules.
the
I was
rules. Yup. He
I
can't
was
follow
dead.
the rules. Him and the rules be battling, boy. They be going at it.
But on a serious note, I really hope that from the suspension, Ja really turns his life around, uh,
Hmm.
and he gets some serious help for whatever he's battling, because he's battling some type of demons.
Something,
Um,
Jesus.
and the crazy thing about it was, if he had made it one of the All NBA teams, he could have been eligible for a super max deal, and that's about 5 years, 250 million. And who would want to
That's
give him that type of money?
nobody because he immature.
Yeah, he needs to mature if he's gonna get that type of bread.
Them South
So,
Carolina boys, man.
oh, him and we'll have to talk
Them
about Zion.
South Carolina boys.
I don't think I don't think we can talk about the other South Carolina boy because he wilding in a different way. Oh, that
Woo,
30
that
for
boy
30
crazy.
poster. We
Hey,
can't
that
talk
thing
about
is
that.
hilarious. That's hilarious. Hey, the internet quick with it. They
They
was
are.
quick with it, boy. I'm glad
Ooh,
Twitter suspended Mariah's account too, because she was going crazy.
I was like, good Lord, bro, this day 4 of this? Golly.
It got to a week straight. It got to suspended. Thank
I'm like,
Jesus.
yes, somebody need to cut her off because she's gonna keep going. But Zion definitely needs to pick his women better. Ja needs to put the guns down, and Zion needs to pick his women better. I think
Hey,
that's
it is what it is, man. When it come to that,
yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
young boy got his taste. That's the young boy in him.
We can definitely see he has a type. That's for sure.
Yep, he definitely
Oh,
does. Them
whew, all right,
BBLs, he get distracted, boy. He see a BBL, he don't know what to do.
Bonnie, let's talk about your Heat's playoff run before we go off the
Yes,
rails.
sir. Let's
um,
get into it, baby.
so first, they lost in that first playing game to the Hawks, 116-105, and your team did not look good in that game.
Let me tell you my
Um,
thoughts after that game.
okay, go ahead, yeah.
After we lost that game to the Hawks, let me tell you how pissed I was. I was heated. All pun intended. All pun intended to the Miami Heat. Okay. I was like, it's over. You feel me? Bulls could beat us. You know what I mean? Let's go get this 14th, this lottery pick 14th. It is what it is. Let's call it. This season's been an up and down season anyway. Like, what are we talking about? Like, we don't deserve to be here anyway. So like forget about it. So we got there, and then I'll let you roll on to the next part.
Okay. Well, the next part is not easy for me to
Cause
talk about.
yep, and that's why I said let's let you roll into the next part. Cause I know
well,
that's your team.
uh, unfortunately, it's my team. And then your Heat, they rallied to beat my Bulls late in the final minutes of the game for the eighth seed. I thought we had the Heat. Then Jimmy Butler went superhero, and
And don't forget about that boy Max Struess.
it's hard to forget what he did to us. If he shot like that, we may be having a different story right now. Man, we're gonna get into that for sure. But what were your thoughts after your Heat rally to beat the Bulls? What were you thinking after that?
After that, going into it, I was still like, okay, you know, what I mean, we made it, but you know, what I mean, it's the Milwaukee Bucks. I was like, we'll push it to 6. I was like, but I was still like, season's over. I was like, you know what I mean, let's chalk it up. You know what I mean? It's like I said, up and down. Let's just call it is what it is. And then they said, we heard what you said, Cavani. It's not over. We're not about to chalk it up. It is what it is, baby. We gonna turn it up a notch.
I mean, Jimmy Butler, that series, oh my Lord Jesus, he was just
Man,
ridiculous.
listen, them boys went crazy. We beat them in 5. And it's just like we lost Hero game 1, then we lost Victor game 2. So it's just like, whoo, okay. And then game 2, you know, we got blown out. And then Giannis came back game 3. And then when we won game 3, it was like, hey, let's turn it up some more. I was like, we got these boys. And we just went on a run from there.
Yes, you did. Like you said, y'all beat. I consider the Bucks. They were the favorites going into the
They,
playoffs.
they were the heavy favorites to come out the East, and we punched them in the mouth.
Now in the second round, I mean the Knicks. I knew y'all were gonna beat the Knicks because they just did
Mm-hmm.
not look good at all. Y'all beat
I
them in
wasn't.
6.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the trilogy against the Celtics. Y'all beat them in 7. I think that was most impressive because y'all went to Boston, and we know with the Boston Gardens, you know how hard it is to go in there win. To win a game 7 in the Boston Gardens, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's tough.
What were, how impressed were you with your team going in there to Boston and winning?
I knew the way I was impressed was how we just came out early. We came out early firing, we was hitting shots, and the way we were impacting like on the defensive end too. We were playing on both sides of the ball. Like we were capitalizing on Jalen's Brown lack of handles. You know what I mean? His lack of a left hand. So and his indecisiveness. And I felt like that us getting in his face and blitzing him early, because we didn't even really blitz him, but we were just in his grill like early in the game, and that messed up like him mentally. And then with JT, you know, battling the ankle, you still played, you didn't sit down, so it is what it is at that point. So Jaylen Brown didn't take that step up. So we got into his head early. And then we're just knocking down shots. And then our transition game, everybody was hitting on all cylinders. Game 7, man. Hoisting the Larry Bird trophy in the Boston Garden felt good. I know it felt good for them boys, man. And I'll definitely say this. We have Boston's numbers throughout the years, throughout the last decade. So I definitely feels good having those bragging rights in the playoffs over them.
Yeah, I named it the Memorial Day Massacre Part 2. I know Boston, they kind of made the score look good at the end. They put the backups in, but
Mm-hmm.
the Heat dominated. I was surprised they dominated that game. I know Jason Tatum, that was a horrible ankle turn. I was like, oh my God, the way his ankle
Yep,
turned.
that was bad, but it's
I'm
no
a,
excuse. You still stayed on the floor and played. So,
yeah,
hey,
but I mean, who are the Celtics going to beat when they shot 9 of 42 from the 3-point line? Um,
exactly.
Jaylen Brown he must have been trying to build a house in Boston in that series. He went 7 of 43 from deep during that series.
Yeah,
Um,
he was pretty bad against us that series. Like I said, we attacked him a lot because we were just in his head. I guess it was a mental game for him because he couldn't dribble the ball, he couldn't really shoot the ball very well, and like defensively, he wasn't really like there. You know, what I mean, he would have his moments in the transition runs and when he would attack the basket, dribble drive to the cup and now and then. But aside from that, we really canceled out Jaylen Brown. If you watch the
it
whole
was
series,
it
it was
was
Marcus Smart, Derek White, of course. Derek White was huge. He was phenomenal for them that series. He was phenomenal for them for that series. And then Robert Williams had his games here and there, but he showed up in the games that mattered for Boston.
most definitely.
So,
Yeah, and then the Celtics, I don't know what is going on with them at home the last two postseasons, but they were 5 and 6 at home this postseason, so
hmm
they need
and
to
then
address that.
Malcolm Brogdon too. They sat him. He was battling the injury, so he was there. He was shooting bad the first couple. He played like what the first 3-4 games, and then they sat him the rest of the series,
I
maybe
think he
five
came
games.
back, but he didn't really have an impact. I think he came
Yeah.
back. He didn't
So
have that
that
impact they needed.
so they were getting all this hype. They got the new team. They went and got some pieces, added Brogdon. You know what I mean? This is Derek White full year. You feel me? Joe Mazzulla, woody woo. We the Miami Heat, baby. We got your number every time.
So I have to ask you this because you brought this up on Instagram and Twitter a bunch. What were your thoughts going into the series when you saw they get the ESPN 97% of ESPN voted for the Celtics to win and only 3% for your Heat?
I loved it. I loved it. The media never loved to talk about us. They love. I watch Get Up every morning. They always said this: the Cinderella story has to end. They have to turn into a pumpkin. Even against the Knicks, they said that we got to turn into a pumpkin. They're not going to keep up this good shooting. They shot poorly in the regular season. They're number one shooting in the postseason. They're not going to keep it up. Well, guess what? We kept it up the entire playoff run. Okay, we kept up the top 3-point shooting percentage the entire playoff run. All right. Yes, we shot poorly for 82 games, but who cares? That's null and void. We're zeros. Everybody knows the playoffs is a completely different season. Everybody who watches the NBA knows that for a fact. So they like for them to sit up there and talk, but they were all just analysts. You know what I mean? The real NBA people that were speaking, they were like, look, this Heat team, they're dangerous. If they keep this up, they're really going to keep going and they're going to be dangerous. It was those other media folks, the analysts who didn't really play the game or really they just sat back and go through the numbers. They were really like, oh, they're going to turn into pumpkins. This Cinderella story's got to end. But guess what? It didn't. Here go Greeny. Oh, we're going to see on Tuesday the Boston Celtics going to be the first team to ever come back down from 3-0. Well, guess what? It didn't happen, Michael Greenberg. It did not happen. The Miami Heat might have maybe blown the 3-0, but guess what? It's because the league called and realized they needed the ratings. They couldn't have two sweeps going on. That's what happened. Okay, we all know that's what happened. Dang it, because the Miami Heat was supposed to either win that game in 5 or 4 games. So let's be real. Let's be real.
I mean, if they did sweep, we wouldn't have had basketball for like a week and a half. So I'm glad.
Exactly. Exactly. So like league called and said, hey, the people want to see this. Let's stretch this thing out. Really, it should have been over in 6, but Max Strus don't know how to find a man on an inbound like that because it happened 2 series in a row. And Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. I don't know, but
I mean, that is true. We're gonna talk about Max Strus because he did some house building too in the finals. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But your Heat were the first team during a full 82 game regular season to be the 8th seed to ever make the NBA Finals. Now the Knicks made it, but that was in the strike.
that was the lock. That was the lockout year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the Heat are the first team as the 8th seed to make it during the 82 game season. So that's very impressive. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Now let's jump into it. What do you think went wrong with your Miami Heat? Because they ran into that juggernaut up in the Rocky Mountains, the Denver Nuggets, and they lost in 5 games. So as a Heat super fan, I'm gonna let you explain to us what went wrong for your Heat.
First off, why do you activate Tyler Hero and don't play him? We're down 3-1. You have nothing. You have nothing to lose.
That's a good question.
You have nothing. You have nothing to lose. We're down 3-1. What do we have to lose? Put him in the game. Put him in the game. That's how I'm gonna start that off. Next off, Jimmy Butler. Let's stop talking about him being a superstar. He's a star. I love Jimmy. I love him to death. He's a star. I said I would stop calling him Hemi Butler in the Boston series, and that was for a reason. And this series showed it. He looked very checked out. I don't know if something's going on off the court, but he looked very checked out. Watching that game 5, oh, he looked so checked out in that game. He looked so checked out. He wasn't himself.
To quickly before you continue, Skip Bayless. Now I don't know if that's the most trustable person in the world, but he did say Jimmy Butler's dad was battling some health issues. He's not doing well. I haven't heard anybody else say that, but Skip, I don't know who the source is, but you know.
Okay. See, like I said, nobody knew anything. Nothing. Nobody knew anything. You feel me? All I'm gonna say is Jimmy looked checked out, and you could just tell, like in a lot of his answers too, in the post game interviews, like he just seemed checked out, and it seemed like I wouldn't say robotic answers, but it just seemed it sounds too good. They just sound too good. You feel me? Like it sounds really good. Like, but it's like the words and the actions aren't clicking. They weren't clicking together. So it's just like he looked really checked out, man. Now to Maximus Strus. I don't even know. I just think the moment got too big, maybe. But outside of, I want to say it was game 2, he shot. Oh my gosh, terrible.
Would you like those numbers? Would you like those numbers? I don't know if you do. He was
I've heard him a lot. So let's go ahead and give him to the people.
He was 2 of 22 from deep in their 4 losses.
Like I just don't know what I don't know what happened to him. I really don't know what happened to him. Like I said, I think the moment lights might have got too bright. Moment it might have been too big. You know, it happens because Caleb Martin also had a down series as well. He didn't, he was electric round 2. He was electric from rounds 1, 2, and 3. You feel me? We get to the finals. Moment too big. What does Coach 30 say? Piss running down your legs.
Yeah.
So I mean, it happens, man. But this is just what shows you that you should, going into last offseason, from where Jimmy Butler pull up 3 away last year to we should have done something last offseason, and even at the trade deadline, and even when there was free agents out there, we didn't do much. I mean, Kevin Love, yes, but did we really need Cody Zeller? Bro,
No.
Nikola Jokic was going crazy whenever he had Cody Zeller on that block. Every time I looked at the TV and Cody Zeller is guarding the Joker, I'm like, well, 2 points, rebound, 2 points, rebound, back down on the block, boom, boom, big body. He's too big. We got to make some moves. We got to make some moves. If you can't keep this unit together no more, it's time to blow it up. You want to add a banner, you got to make some shape. You
I
got
agree with
Pat
you.
Riley. Pat Riley. I have faith in you. I said last year was my last ride, and you let me down. But I'm gonna ride with you off one more time because we made it to the finals with this team, and I know there's superstars out there who want to come to Miami. They already said it. They've already said Miami's possible. I want to go to Miami. Bam's my guy. Number what? Who said that? Miami on Bam's my guy. Number 0 over there in Portland. He said he wanted to come to Miami. You know, I mean, Bradley Beal the last 4 to 5 off seasons. My goodness, if we're connected to this man one more off season and he does don't come down there, I will drive to DC myself and drive him to Miami myself. Let's go. Pack the car up. We're going. Because if I got to go through another offseason of Miami and Bradley Beal connected again, I'm going to go crazy. Okay. If you don't get your tail down there right now and go help us bring a ring, okay? You getting paid. Now let's go get this ring. You play to win the game. You play to win championships.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you before I get into what went wrong for your Heat. What moves do you want to see them make? I heard you mention Dame Dollar, Bradley Beal, because and I would say these losses, the Heat really struggled to score. I think the Nuggets held them under 100
Mm-hmm.
in all of the losses. So,
And under 94.
yeah. So who do you want to see them add? Who do you want to see go out the door? You know.
Well, it's been real. You got to go say bye. Peace. If you're going to make these trades for Bradley, a Dame, I seen some reports. It was one article that was like, 8 players that he could trade for. Zach LaVine was on there. I'm sorry. I definitely would take Zach off of y'all hands because y'all got to break it up, man. It's not working out over there. It's not working out there either. So
It's
that
not.
thing that's gotta get broken up over there. So I seen Zach, Pascal. I'm not opposed to that. A nice wing defender, wing long guy. He can get his own bucket too. He gets boards. He could guard multiple positions. Um, John Collins been linked to us for a while, but I don't know if I want John Collins. But like you said, a Bradley Beal, a Dame. Really, those my top 3. I would like a Zach. I know we need like a for real like big because Bam isn't no center. Like he struggles against the big like the real bigs in the league. If you ever watch him, like he doesn't struggle, but he struggles to score and like he struggles to like defend them at times.
Mhm.
Like Jokic was giving him, oh man, big big Jokic gave him big boy buckets all series long. You can't stop that. Jokic, I keep telling people Jokic is a different type of big. You got skill and finesse. We were so used to skill and power. He is skill and finesse. It's just crazy. His soft touch around the rim is just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Another person I can see is adding though. Go get me that guy get that guy out of Boston, man. He don't want to be in Boston, man. Go give me Jaylen Brown, bro. Let's give him a different situation, man. Let's teach him how to dribble. You know what I mean? We'll teach him how to dribble. We'll teach him how to control that left. You know what I mean? We'll put him in difficult situations. We'll break him down and build him back up into a way better basketball player than he ever was, man. Boston ain't treating him right up there. Them fans is racist up there anyway. So come on down to South Beach. It's a tax-free state anyway. So I've said that numerous times, man. So I will honestly say top 4 got to be Zach, Brad, Dame, and Jaylen.
Okay, those are some good
Mm-hmm.
choices.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all definitely need some scoring when your shooters are building houses, so I think
Yeah,
those would be some good
exactly.
choices.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And Jimmy isn't a primary scorer. He likes to play off of that. So I think everybody will be at their best, and we'll see how if that could can help revolutionize his game. I think Bam needs a certified 15, 20-foot jumper. He really needs a jump shot. He really needs a jump shot. Like really needs one like knocked down. You got to be scared every time he taking that jumper for real.
well, for me, what went wrong with the Heat? You already mentioned Max Strus. In games 1, 3 and 4, he scored a combined 3 points, folks. That is not a misprint. He posted 2 zeros and he had 3 points in the other game. We already mentioned in those in their 4 losses, he was 2 of 22 from deep. His fellow house builder, Gabe Vincent, after starting off so well this series, he averaged 21 in the first 2 games. He averaged 5 points in the final 3 games of the series. He was 1 of 14 from deep. And you mentioned Caleb Martin. He was so good in that Boston series. I mean, oh my God. Especially that game 7. Oh,
he was
he made us
amazing,
proud,
bro.
man.
He was amazing.
He went from 19 points in the conference finals to 7.2 in the NBA finals. So
moment too big, piss running down their legs. Max Strus and Gabe Vincent both are free agents this offseason. So, I mean, I love them, but it might be time. I know we'll probably bring back one of them. But hey, business. Both probably got to go.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, if basketball doesn't work out, then go build some houses. Because you would think they was trying to build some condos in Miami and some lodges up in the mountains in Denver, but it was breaking.
Bright's got too light for them boys, man.
I mean, Bam, his numbers look good, but he would have a big first half, and then I'd be like, "Where is Bam in the second half?"
The second half disappeared. Like, Bam, I want you to go for 40. I want you to go for 40.
Like,
go for 40.
Game 5, I think he had 16 or 17 in the first half, and he finished with 21 points. I'm like, Bam, are you serious?
Go for 40.
I know when Yoke came back in the game, it was going to be a lot harder for him. But still, Bam, you were killing the Nuggets when they tried to put Jeff Green on you. They tried, I think DeAndre Jordan was on him because Jokic got in foul trouble again. And he was going crazy.
For 40, man.
I thought he was going for 40, the way he was cooking in that first half. And yeah, man, that's pretty much what went wrong for the Heat. And like you said, Jimmy Butler, something was wrong. I don't know if he emptied his gas tank too early or what, but something went wrong during the finals.
He looked checked out, man.
They needed him to be the Jimmy Butler from the Bucks series for them to have a chance. And he averaged 21 points this series. You're going to go home in 5 if Jimmy Butler is on average giving you 21 points. And he was awful in that game 5 until he had that late spurt to make it look good. But
it was literally the last 4 or 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. You're like, what? I was so annoyed at that point. I said, what? I was so annoyed. I said, what, bro? Like, I'm literally saying, what? Like, in all my group chats, I said, this is annoying. This is so annoying. Like, this is what I meant by how this season went. Like, I would have been fine. I'm happy we did what we did, but if the season ended after, like, either the Bulls, like, if the Bulls would have ended it, I would have been fine with that. Because that's just how this season went. This NBA Finals is literally how this season went. That series was how our season went. So,
and to me, like Shannon Sharp was saying, you know how we have a team during March Madness who goes on like a magical run, and eventually, it's going to come to an end. You're going to stop hitting those shots, and stuff like that. Because the Heat, they like you said in the regular season, they were horrible shooting, but boy, during that postseason, boy, they got hot. And the fire went out.
Duncan Robinson raised his trade value, though. I will say that.
Oh yeah, he was big off the bench in a bunch of those games.
He's somebody who remained consistent. I'll say that he remained consistent. He been in the finals. Moment not too big. I've been in the finals. I'm Duncan Robinson. Miami runs on Duncan. We started the slogan. But he definitely raised his trade value. So I know I'm gonna be sad to see a lot of these guys go this offseason because I know we're gonna make some moves. We're gonna make some power moves. We're gonna make some big chess moves because we're gonna be back. We will be back. It's not gonna try to be back. We're gonna be back. going to be sad to see these guys go, but it's also going to be happy to see these new guys that we're going to have coming in. These new guys that's going to want to start here. You know what I mean? These superstars, these stars, these dominant role players. You know what I mean? We're going to find a diamond in the rough too, of course. We're always going to find a diamond in the rough that's going to be playing along these superstars with us. So it's going to be fun. Next season is going to be fun. I'm excited and I'm hopeful and I'm joyful to see, especially the summer league too, because them young boys was talking about the summer league in the exit interviews. They was talking that talk. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what they gonna do. So I'm ready.
Close out. Let's give our NBA champions some love. The Denver Nuggets.
Got
We
to.
talked a lot about the Heat, but this Nuggets team, they're gonna have 9 players under contract next year, and their core 4 players are all 28 or younger. So, Vonnie, will the Nuggets become our next NBA dynasty?
No.
No.
I'm gonna say that no, but they're gonna give folks a run for their money. I will say though, I give them. I'm not gonna say dynasty, but I can see them maybe potentially getting back to NBA Finals in the next 5 years because everybody's gonna retool. Man, the West is gonna revamp. Feel me? Phoenix is gonna get better. LA is gonna get better. We're gonna see what Golden State do, but I'm pretty sure Golden State gonna get better. The Kings is right there rising. Kyrie said he wants to be back in Dallas. Pelicans, we got to see what's up with Zion. That's 6 teams right there. I'm already naming the Thunder too. Like it's teams getting better. The West is that dog fight. So it's gonna be tough to say for the Nuggets. You know what I mean? Like this year, I felt like that they caught a good year. Like I said, if they didn't win it, I had said this at the beginning of the postseason. I'm like, if Denver doesn't win it this year, they definitely can win it next year. But like they have to do it one of these 2 years because like these teams is only getting better. Like Phoenix is only about to get revamped. You think they're about to just not do nothing when we're having Katie and Booker?
Exactly.
Come on now. Like the Kings is only going to try to build upon what they just did. They're not going to try to reverse. They're going to try to keep building, and I can see them. Somebody's going to want to join that team. Somebody else is going to want to go on that team. So, and then like I said, at Golden State, we just got to see what they got going on because they got some stuff, some in-house stuff they got to fix. But Denver did what needed to be done this season. And they just had a feel-good story, man. Jamal Murray, 20 after the season after the bubble tore his ACL. You know what I mean? Then came back this season, going crazy. There we go. Jeff Green had open heart surgery in 2012. Told him he'll never play ball again. Look at where he at now. Ish Smith, Carolina native, 13 teams, 13 seasons, NBA champion. NBA, that's a journeyman for you. DeAndre Jordan. He got a ring before Chris Paul.
Lob
That's
City.
the running joke. That's the running joke. But nah, DeAndre Jordan got one. Reggie Jackson, he got him one too. You know what I'm saying? And then Michael Porter Jr. too. You know what I mean? He battled his injuries, the back injuries, the leg injuries too. You know what I mean? So, he battled through stuff for him too. So this team just had a bunch of feel-good stories and the basketball gods aligned it right for them to hoist the trophy up this year for them. So congratulations to the 2023 NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets. And I'll leave it at that.
I don't know about them becoming the next dynasty, but I do know that they're going to be a handful because
They're going to be a handful. Yep.
Yoke's only going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to, man. He, like you said, he's so gifted the way he with his feet, the way he can pass the ball, being that big.
Skill, finesse, man. That's when you've been skill and finesse. You mix that together, man. You got a dangerous duo right there, and that's what you got in that big boy.
Yeah, and then like you said, Jamal Murray, he's missed the last 2 postseasons. He came back for blood, man. This postseason, man. Because he averaged, I think it was 30 or 32 in the conference finals against the Lakers. He was just a killer.
Going for he averaged a double against us, man. Gotta give him credit where it's due. 39%, shooting 39% from the field, man. I give that man his credit, bro. He did what needed to be done. Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., You know what I mean? Bruce Brown, KCP. KCP 2-0 against us in the NBA Finals. That's just funny to say, man. Fun fact. But them boys stepped up and knocked down their shots when needed to be. Man, and Michael Porter Jr., like I said, he's only what, 21, 22? Man,
24.
he's 24. Okay, still though, he has a bright future ahead of him. Like he has a bright future.
And yeah, I think that's what was the reason why the Nuggets won this series because, like in Game 4, when Jokic got in foul trouble, you thought that was the game the Heat were gonna win, and Aaron Gordon just, he had a big game. He stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the biggest thing that they need to do is lock down Bruce Brown.
Because he
Now,
has a player option.
yes, after a guy wins a championship, maybe he wants to go somewhere and be a starter. So locking him down is going to be a big key because he's one of their big pieces off the bench. I was thinking they should have played him a lot more in this series, the way Michael Porter was building, brick houses too. But he had a big game 5 to close it out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like you said, the West is only going to get better. What is Braun and the Lakers? What are they going to do? Can AD be consistent? Because he'll have a big game and then you know,
Disappear.
yeah, he looked like a G League player the next game. So
Exactly.
so Nikola Jokic is the first player in NBA history to lead all players in points,
Oh yeah,
rebounds, and
rebounds.
assists in a
Yeah.
single postseason. That is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. This man is and I remember you were talking about Christian Brown and how he was a great player and all this. Three
Hey,
straight high school titles.
hands down to that kid, bro. That kid is a straight certified winner, bro. I
Yes.
cannot touch him. I can't say nothing bad about him. Anywhere he goes, just know you winning something, man. Because hey, go ahead and read it off. Go ahead and read it off. My fault.
Oh, you good? Okay, so Christian Brown, three straight high school titles. He won the national championship at Kansas, and now he's an NBA champion. So that man is
And they said
living
he
life.
won the Peach Jam too. That's the AAU thing.
Oh, he did.
That
Oh, wow.
yeah, yup, uh-huh. That's what I'm saying, bro. You can't touch that kid. Like any team he hoop on, he a winner. Certified winner. Like you just got hats off to Christian Brown. You feel me? I heard they was talking. His whole family is a bunch of athletes. Everybody in his family is athletes, man. So hats off to that kid, man. That kid knows winning. It's in his DNA. It's in his blood.
And to give some love to the Nuggets owner Stan Kroenke, he
Winner.
owns. So Stan Kroenke, he's won 4 championships with the 4 major U.S. sports teams he owns. So the Nuggets this year, the Rams won the Super Bowl, the Avalanche hockey,
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
the Colorado Mammoths. I don't know what that is, but they won too. I don't know what they do, but he won with them too.
Yep.
I was
That's
I was
the National Lacrosse League.
oh now okay, that's what that means. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was joking. I need him to come own the Cowboys because it seems like everything he
Oh,
touched turns into
mm,
championships.
no, we don't need that. We don't need that. Y'all can stick with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones sold his soul in the '90s. That's what really happened. That's what's really happening, I think.
But Vonnie, I want to thank you for coming on the show to recap the NBA Finals, even though it didn't go the way you wanted.
Oh,
It's
good.
always,
Season went the way. Season turned out better than I expected, so I'll take that.
I mean, yeah, the way it was going, you would have never thought that he would have been in this position. So at least you can celebrate that.
Yep,
Uh,
exactly, man.
but definitely enjoyed having you on, and we'll definitely have to get you back on during football season, like last year.
Oh yeah, yes, sir. We gonna get it rocking and rolling, baby.
Yes, sir. And guys, before we close out, next Monday, June 26th, I'll have an NBA draft recap because there's some reports that the Pelicans are going to try to move one of their pieces to get into the top
Mm-hmm.
3 to try to get Scoot Henderson. So
Scoop.
he's a bucket. So I'm going to talk about that, and it's been reported it could either be Zion or Brandon Ingram. So we have to see which one of
Oh.
those. Yeah, it's been reported that they can move. They're gonna have to move somebody to move into that
Mm-hmm.
top 3. Because if you think about it, Portland, they're either gonna have to surround Dame with some help or he's out of there.
Yep.
Because you're not gonna get no free agents to come to Portland, so you're gonna have to trade for him. So we're gonna get into all that next Monday. And then this is gonna drop Monday, this upcoming Monday. So that's what you guys can be looking for. So until then, peace out. Take care.
Peace.